Hello everyone, this is Talking Saints. Welcome to the first ever episode, and this is my all-time Saints team. So goalkeeper, it's between two. First of all, Peter Shilton, absolute legend for Saints. Twice, I think, a European Cup winner of Nottingham Forest before he joined us. My first game that I went to, which I think was 85-86, Shilton was in goal. Fantastic keeper, and I think England's, until Beckham took over for him, record appearance holder, absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. But for me, the guy I've gone for is the Flying Finn, the guy that the Scotsman said was finished when he's actually finished. Mr. Anthony Amy, an absolute brilliant shot stopper, in goal for our 2003 FA Cup run. My keeper is Anthony Amy. So choice for right back was a hard one, again between two men. It's between Jason Dodd and Ivan Golak, the Yugoslav legend. Golak definitely deserves a mention. Scored possibly one of the best ever goals. This one against West Brom in 1981, absolute cracker from Ivan Golak. Wasn't lucky enough to see him play because I'm a younger man, but for me, the guy I've gone for, just for pure longevity and a guy that I saw play, 453 appearances in total from 89 right through to 2005, captained the club, absolute legend, my right back, Mr. Jason Dodd. Okay, next up we're talking left back, again between two people. First one, Mr. Wayne Bridge, absolute legendary player, got capped by England playing for Southampton. I think it was 161 appearances, only 2 goals, but absolutely fantastic bombing forward down that left side. His link up with Chris Marsden, particularly in the 2003 season when we reached the cup final under Strachan. Exceptional left back, fantastic player, Bridgie. But the guy I've gone for only played 45 games for us at left back. But in those 45 games, developed eventually into one of the best players in the world, Gareth Bale. 5 goals from left back, saw him as a 16, 17-year-old, and it was a case of give the ball to the left back because he's our best chance of scoring. Unbelievable player. I've put him in more for what he's done after he left Saints at Real Madrid, etc. But left back, just to get him in the team, he's got to be in there, Gareth Bale. Okay, for the centre-back positions, I've got it down to 4. So the 4 to talk about: Mark Wright, Virgil van Dijk, Michael Svensson, killer himself, and finally Klaus Lundekvam. So first of all, Mark Wright, over 200 appearances for Saints. When I first started watching the team in the 80s, Mark Wright was an absolute libero, sweeper at the back. Was fantastic for England in the 1990 World Cup. Very unlucky, I think he had 2 broken legs before he left us for Derby County, but a fantastic defender, brilliant on the ball. I'm putting Mark Wright in the team as one of my centre-backs. The person who's just missed out, absolute legend, lucky enough to meet him several times during the 90s, mainly on nights out in Southampton, was Mr. Klaus Lundekvam, club legend, over 400 appearances for the Saints, only 2 goals from Klaus, but again, when he first joined, I think he was playing under Graham Souness, he was fantastic on the ball, had so many great seasons helping Saints survive in the Premiership, and an absolute club legend. So Klaus, sorry you've missed out. The other 2, Michael Svensson or Virgil van Dijk, really, really difficult decision. Michael Svensson, known as Killer, brilliant in the 2003 season, getting us to the cup final. Scored the last ever goal at Main Road against Man City. Absolute top quality defender. I think it was 80 odd appearances for Saints. Unfortunately, injuries affected him. Van Dijk, not a fan of Van Dijk as a person, but the way he played for Saints, absolutely superb. Inter Milan in the Europa League, Van Dijk up against Icardi was like watching a man defend against a 14-year-old kid. Van Dijk, as much as I don't like him as a person and the way he left Saints, he's got to get in ahead of Killer Svensson. So my 2 centre-backs, Virgil van Dijk and Mark Wright. Okay, so midfield, first of all, central defensive midfield player between a European Cup winner and a World Cup winner. So first of all, European Cup winner, Jimmy Keites, massively underrated player when he was at Liverpool and Southampton. Luckily enough to meet this man, fantastic player, an absolute hard man on the ball, but he could play as well. People thought Jimmy Keites was just a hard man, he wasn't. He could spray the ball about. 269 appearances for Saints and 14 goals. Fantastic player, Jimmy, and a lovely guy as well. But the guy I've gone for is the World Cup winner, Alan Ball. Captained us in the League Cup final in 79, won the World Cup with England in 66. One of the best passes of a ball there was. Bally got the ball and just kept it. So I've gone for Bally. Sorry, Jimmy. Really tough decision, that one. Alan Ball just ahead of Jimmy Case. So right side of the midfield, it's between a guy who made so many appearances and a guy who didn't make very many at all, but someone who made a lasting impression on me. So first of all, Terry Payne, the other person, Ronnie Eklund. Terry Payne, over 800 appearances for Saints, and I think it was 185 goals, known as Mr. Southampton, part of the England 1966 World Cup squad, got a medal eventually, absolute club legend. The other person, 17 games. Only 17 games for Saints, in that time 5 goals, but someone that Matt Le Tissier described as one of the best players he ever played with. Ronnie Eklund, who was a Danish under-21 international that joined us on loan from Barcelona. I think the story goes that Alan Ball met Johan Cruyff at the time, asked if he had any players available, and Cruyff kindly lent us Ronnie Eklund. I remember seeing him play in a game against Everton at the Dell, where Eklund and Le Tissier were superb together. Wonderful memories of watching Ronnie Eklund, but I'm sorry, unfortunately I can't leave out Mr. Southampton. Terry Payne, over 800 appearances. It's got to be the man on right midfield, but did love Ronnie Eklund. Okay, left-hand side of the midfield, and this guy could play literally anywhere. It's just between one. Matthew Le Tissier, Southampton's greatest ever player. I think it was 462 appearances, 209 goals, Matt, I believe. No competition, no one else to compare him with. Could play in the hole, could play on the wing. Le Tiss, I've stuck you on the left side of midfield. You're in the team. Okay, on the right-hand side then, again between two people, the guy who's just missed out, but certainly deserves a mention, Sadio Mane. Didn't play that many games for Saints and struggled when he first came to the club, but became an absolutely fantastic player and sold for over £30 million to Liverpool and has gone on to win the Premier League, the Champions League, and now at Bayern Munich. Absolutely terrific player, but didn't play that many games for Saints. The guy I've gone for, another club legend, the only person from the 76 cup-winning team that I've picked, it's Mick Channon. He's gone on to have a fantastic career in horse racing as well. 602 appearances for Mickey Channon, 228 goals, FA Cup winner, absolute club legend, right-hand side of the attack. It's Mickey Channon. Okay, so we're into the front three. I'm going to start off with the left-hand side, and again, between two people. First of all, the Latvian Michael Owen, Mr. Marian Pahars, over 120 appearances for the club, 45 goals, fantastic player, most remembered for the Great Escape season and the 2 goals against Everton on the final day in the 98-99 season. Wonderful player. Again, he was troubled, like Michael Svensson, with a lot of injuries, but absolutely love Marian Pahars, brilliant player. He's just missed out though. I've gone for double European Footballer of the Year, and probably our most famous and greatest ever signing when Laurie McMenemy introduced him in the Potter's Heron Hotel in 1980, Kevin Keegan. Kevin, in total, amazing stats, 80 appearances for Saints, 42 goals. He got the crowd back in at the Dell. Absolute club legend. Keegan has got to be in the team. Okay, final player. There's only one man can possibly be. Sir Ricky Lambert. A goal every other game for Southampton. Took us from League One up to the Premier League. People said he couldn't score goals in the Premier League. He still did. Absolute legend. I was there when he was carried off the pitch against Coventry City in the promotion game when we went up to the Prem. There's no other man can play centre forward. Ricky Lambert, legend. You are in the team. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and a big thanks to my, I've got to say this because he's telling me, what have I got to say? Amazing son, Max Keites, who's edited it, put it all together. Thanks, Max. He's a big Saints fan. Up the Saints.